Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the BlueRangerPeter Big Leg Podcast, the podcast that is for people. Hang on, let me put this guitar down. Welcome to the podcast, not the stream, even though it's still a stream. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Welcome to the Big Leg Podcast. This is episode 3. For those who don't know, the Big Leg Podcast, a podcast I started about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago. We're actually a few days off. July 18th, 2021 is when I stopped doing this podcast, but this needs to come back, you know? And we're finally back, and I got a new setup. I want to show everybody. I have a guest here today. Look at my guest here. I got the one and only Ro Jogan. Say hi to everybody, Ro Jogan. Say hi to everybody. There he is. There's my guy. What's up, Ro Jogan? Ro? Come on, Ro Jogan. Come on now. Look at me, Ro. What do you have to say for yourself?
Bruh.
Okay. He said it off camera, but he's doing his thing. Yeah. Ro Jogan's being he's being a little goofy today. I have to add sound effects to every scene, or else it doesn't make sense. Hang on. Let me go to his sound effect thing. Yeah. Sorry if anyone's listening to this audio. I'm just. Yeah. I decided I wanted this podcast back properly, and I thought, like, you know what? I'm going to force myself to do it, whether I'm fully prepared or not. So this podcast today might be a little scuffed. We do have a 45-minute limit on it, though, because I want to keep it not too long, just short enough, right? And have some stuff prepared. You know, in the Big Leg Podcast, it's laugh, explore, grow, or LEG, as I call it for short. For people who like to laugh, explore, and grow. That's basically how I've categorized everything in life, really, because, you know, you need to laugh because to connect with others, you know, it actually extends your life expectancy and all that stuff. Explore is basically anything that in life that you didn't know about but has now enriched you, you know, in a sense of that, like, you didn't know there's this city in Peru that, like, exists amongst a concave of sand, and it's like a beautiful oasis in the middle of nowhere. It's like, wow. And so it's learning new information that doesn't necessarily help you survive, but makes you experience new things, is basically what explore is about. And then grow is anything to do with, like, actually learning something, you know, self-development, that type of thing, or even, like, you know, trying to get through problems, right? So in today's podcast, we got a few things going on with that right there. And yeah, hang on, I was in the middle of setting up this guy up. Hang on, I gotta add the sound effect here, the desktop thing. I've been wait, what the hell? I've been modding Star Sector for like 4 hours straight. That's nice, Aiden. And yes, we are doing this live on Twitch. So if you ever catch these podcasts live, here, me and Ro Jogan here, we're just vibing, you know? We're just vibing. Let me just add this audio thing real quick. God damn, I can't believe how long it's taking me to do this. Okay, add desktop. I have to add this thing to everything. Okay, so what do you have to say to everybody, Joe? I mean, Ro.
Bruh.
Oh, well said, Joe. Well fucking said. Wait, what was that? Wait, that's the wrong one. Joe, I thought you wanted... Oh, wait, no, I don't have it ready.
Bruh.
Hey Joe, you know, do some faces. We got some faces. Ro's got. I gotta go. Oh, you gotta go say it. Okay, no worries, pal. We also got some faces. Ro here does. He also, you know, it's when Ro's happy. Ro's pretty happy over here. He can also do something with his lips. Ro, do the thing with the lips. He's doing the thing with the lips. Look at Ro. Okay, and then your eyes. Oh, his eyes. Look at those eyes. He can't believe it. And then finally, someone needs to shave because Ro's been out of hand with his hair there. His fucking... I made all of these like months ago, thinking I was gonna start the podcast in January. Fuck, man. Holy cow. Also, we gotta cut back on the swearing because that's just no good. No one wants to hear too many swearing. So, anyways, I have things prepared for this podcast. This is going to be a very scuffed podcast, so hopefully it'll be good enough for you guys, okay? That's all I'm going to let you know. So, let's just start off with the BlueRangerPeter news before we get into laugh and explore and grow and all that stuff. So, let's not congratulate. Let's thank all the people who followed the BlueRangerPeter podcast, you know, or the streams, actually, on Twitch. So, this goes out to anyone who's, like, you know, done anything on Twitch. We have someone with Japanese letterings. I don't know what their name means, but they've actually... Can we get that on the screen there? Can we get... Oh, no. I would have to sign in and everything. Actually, I didn't even show you guys. Petey, my boy Petey over here. There's Petey. He's actually... say something in the chat, guys. Petey's actually monitoring the chat, and he's making sure everything's good. So if you type something in chat, it'll show up on Petey's monitor. So go for it, fellas. Go for it. And in the meantime, Petey can actually search things up while me and Ro here are having a little conversation, you know? It's just... It's how it goes. And Petey is actually getting some stuff on the monitor in the background there. You can see. Petey, what are you searching for? What are you searching? Oh, Petey's searching something. Oh, Petey. Well, because, you know, Rose got Joe Rogan, who's also Ro Jogan's second cousin or whatever. I don't know what relation. But actually, Petey, can we get, and because we got Jamie on his podcast, on my podcast, we got Petey instead of Jamie. So, Petey, can you pull that up? Appreciate you showing that. And if I'm going to start typing. So if I just start typing some shit in chat, it shows up on Petey's monitor. Look at that. And we still got the tomatoes. He's still looking at tomatoes while people are chatting. Well, no one's chatting, but yeah. It's awesome. Look at that. I love this setup. So yeah, this has been like, I had this ready 6 months ago. I just didn't have the content ready, or I don't know what I was going to do with my content. So that's another thing. So damn ADHD, I was supposed to be thanking people. So yeah, we have someone with some Japanese letters. I don't know how to say your name, so sorry. But thank you for following this week. We're just trying to thank anyone who followed this week, basically. Who joined the Blue Man group, the BlueRangerPeter Crusades, and anyone who's supporting it through like subs and stuff like that. So Chappie's36, shout out to you for subbing for 6 months in a row. We got Tony Macaroni sending 245 bits, saying, basically, you deserve it, pal, and he's happy about it. Next, we got Gotham Playboy, Vast Cheese, and Miss Thang. Vast Cheese followed, Gotham Playboy followed, and Miss Thang has subscribed using Prime yesterday. And that was really nice of them. So, anyways, that's all the follows and new people we got this week. Since the last time I did this podcast, it's literally been a full year. And so, basically, a lot has happened. We've changed a lot of the stuff so if anyone's listening to episode 2 of this old podcast, well, the last episode's old. But anyways, we've been basically, we've been talking about how I've done Valorant now, and I'm trying to do this thing where I get 1,000 laughs in Valorant, right? And Ro Jogan's been following that too secretly in chat. He's been lurking. You've been lurking, right, dude?
Bruh.
Yeah, he's been lurking. He's basically lurking. All he says is bruh, but he's been lurking, haven't you?
Bruh.
Yeah, okay. Anyways. It's fucking hilarious. I love this. Alright, I gotta cut down the swearing. Anyways, so we've been laughing it up. We've hit over, what is it, 633 laughs so far this week. We've reached that. This whole week has been kind of fun. Monday was it was Tuesday. We had a big boom in the frickin' laughs department. We actually got close to beating our high score, which was set like back in a little over February. We've been doing this since February 2022. Just trying to make 1,000 people laugh in Valorant using all these voices, you know. I do the rich man voice, and over time I've like done new voices like top of the ninth ball, and you know, it's like all sorts of things like that. And Skiddly D Potato. And if anyone's been watching streams, you guys know all about all these voices. So I'm not going to reiterate, but if you want to know what it's all about, watch my old videos, or if I'm still streaming this as you're hearing this, check out the streams, is basically it. So yeah, we're at 633 laughs so far. I'm just trying to get up my little thing here. I had my notes down here, and all of a sudden I can't find them. I hope they didn't accidentally get deleted, because I didn't save it. But they should have saved, so I'm a little curious as to where they went. Hot damn, I don't think it saved, actually. This scares me. This scares me on multiple levels. Okay. It did not save my notes that I compiled today. That's confusing and scary. And makes my monkey brain go why, basically. Huh, that's weird. Oh, well, your boy's screwed then. Okay, I'm gonna have to go off my old fucking list and kind of just go from there. Okay, let's just jump into the Big Leg podcast. So, yeah, so what are some things that made me laugh this week? So we got some jokes here. So this one's pretty good. This joke, we're gonna start off with the laugh section. Diddly diddle dee. Let's. Okay, for today we don't have a lot of sound effects, but we got the Vine Boom. The Vine Boom's gonna be our switch between fucking sections of the show. Oh, I gotta not swear. But so here's the Vine Boom. Yeah, basically, we're in the laugh section. Okay, so what made me laugh is I have three jokes here. So one of them is, so here's the first joke. A witch is riding on a broom, right? And she's flying around, and she sees a bunch of other witches, and they're flying around on vacuums. And she's, like, astonished. She's going, like, what's going on here? Am I the only one who drives stick around here? Ba-doonts. Oh, I have that one sound effect. There we go. Yeah, so get it? Stick shift. Anyways. Okay, another joke we got is the other day, my neighbor had his house robbed. Someone robbed him, and they broke into his garage. Weird thing is, all they stole was his limbo stick. I mean, like, how low can you go, man? There we go. And then finally, the last joke I have is, you know, I thought I could bring my dog to the pond, you know, for walks, but I can't because the ducks keep biting at him. I guess that's what I get for buying a purebred dog. There we go. Those are your jokes. Did you like those, Joe? He liked them. He liked those jokes. Look at him. Joe loves those jokes. Okay, he loved those jokes. Anyways, so yeah, other than that, yeah, let me just pull it. Okay, so I'm so sad. My notes just like deleted themselves, and I thought it would save automatically, but it didn't. So your boy's a little, he's kind of gherkin the jerkin here, you know. Petey, you're gonna have to do a lot of work today. Okay, you cool with that, Petey? You cool? You still got those tomatoes up, but that's pretty cool, Petey. Thank you. Anyways, so yeah, let's see what else we got going on here. So other than that, I was expecting to put some funny stuff on the screen, and I think I can. I think we could do that. Why not? It's a free country. It's free real estate. So I remember. Oh, okay. So some things that's made me laugh. These aren't too recent, but like, you know, some stuff that's been kind of funny lately. This was actually back in June. Sane Gaming actually has shared this with me, and let's see if this opens up. This will probably open up on the screen. Oh, not that screen. Not that screen. Uh-oh. So if we put that here, will that actually just go straight to it? I think it will. So what are we getting that, Petey? Are we getting a live feed? Oh, we are. Thank you, Petey. I am a moron. I did not add the audio, my microphone. I did not add my microphone to the internet shot, the most important shot to get audio from. Oopsies. Yeah, sorry fellas. Okay, yeah. This was brand new made, and I did not proof check this. So again, Super Scuff Podcast, sorry. Even though there is a podcast called the Scuff Podcast. So anyways, we got these things here. Yeah, I thought this was hilarious when they shared this. And Insane's watching right now in the chat. Yeah, that honestly made me laugh out loud. I shared it with my fucking... I can't believe I just said it made me laugh out loud, because like this sounds like a boomer thing to say. But it did. It really did. And I shared it with my boy who played a lot of Isaac back in the day, so he thought that was hilarious, and he thought that was great. So thank you, Petey. Thank you for sharing that. We appreciate you. So next on the list that's like made me laugh recently and close enough is, you know, the classic. Oh no, I'm gonna share this, but SpongeBob is always funny. I just really like the one clip where Patrick's running around. He's got a piece of nail in his forehead, and you know, SpongeBob tells him to just go, you dumb, stupid animal. Another clip I'll just share real quickly. Petey, can you pull up the one of Dr. K? He's talking all serious and stuff. Yes, pull it up, please. He's being all serious and stuff, and then Destiny's actually watching him. And then Dr. K ends this pretty funny. Listen to this.
Dr. K was based all along.
Why was Hitler able to change Europe so much and turn Germany, which had been a shithole after World War I, into this ultimate powerhouse that threatened an entire continent? It's because he was living in service to this greater idea. And when you tap into that as a gamer, what?
It's just funny because he goes from freaking Hitler to as a gamer. Anyways, what else made your boy laugh today? Let's see, Petey. What else we got here, Petey? Because we're going through the Discord, really. So where I get kind of a lot of like laugh, explore, and grow stuff, I kind of take a lot of explore and laugh inspiration from my own Discord, the Blue Man Group. And if you guys aren't in it, go check it out, boys. It's pretty fun. We got some fun stuff. Another thing is that freaking, I don't know why, I just found out this today, but apparently in the new Overwatch game, which I didn't know was still going on, it's like no one talks about it, honestly. Overwatch 2, no one gives a crap and a half. Do you give a crap, Joe? I think Joe might give a crap. I'm sorry, guys. Joe, why do you give a crap about freaking... I actually don't care about your opinion. You're kind of like Joe Swanson, now that I think about it. Anyways, Petey, pull up the clip. Pull up the clip of, basically, fucking... I cannot swear. Of, what's her name? Freaking Diva, basically saying cringe. She's basically saying cringe. And that's like a voice line. She's like, ooh, you died? Cringe, or something like that. Listen in.
Wow, cringe. Comes up.
Did she say wow, cringe? What?
It's just a little bit of a loss for gamers everywhere when you hear something like that in your freaking official game. It's a little weird to hear that. That's all I'm gonna say, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. You agree, right, Petey? Yeah, Petey agrees. Okay, so anyways. Alright, so that was another thing to laugh. So it's funny because when I go through the podcast in the last episodes, there's not really a lot of substance with the laugh section. So we're kind of just going through things here. Let's see. Well, what else we got? We got in the Explore section, I'm kind of just going through the Discord and just seen anything reminders. The Discord's kind of like, I like to see it as the place I just put all the extra stuff that I want to remember later. And that's why I kind of share it with you guys in the first place. So other than that, in the Discord, we also have Skins Mackenzie. She's been making lots of art lately about, what is it? Oh, fuck. Persona art of her own characters. And if you guys don't know, Skins Mackenzie, good friend of mine, longtime friend of mine. And she's been making art and always posting in the art and creativity section of our Discord. Other than that, movies. Oh my God, big thing. Movies. Freaking Clerks 3 is coming out. And I don't know if, I don't know, Joe, are you someone who cares about Clerks 3? Oh yeah, he cares about Clerks 3. Look at that. Look at that. He freaking loves Clerks 3. Holy shit. Anyways, so yeah, Clerks 3 is coming out. Freaking Kevin Smith is finally pooping out that golden turd. Let's hope it's good. Kevin Smith has been making anything and everything lately in the last, like, 10 years. And so hopefully this is, like, something back to reform. I don't know. And if you don't know, Kevin Smith has made a lot of great movies like Clerks and Mallrats. Chasing Amy was considered one of his best works in Dogma. He's just, I don't know, he's one of those guys that I discovered in high school actually through his podcast, when podcasts were just starting to get popular. And the thing about Kevin Smith is that, I honestly, he's someone to admire because he's someone who could tell a really good story a lot of the time. Like, he tells this one story about how his dad passed away, and that story always stuck with me because in the end, his father basically, he's in the hospital bed, and he wasn't there. He wasn't there to see it, but his brother was there. Kevin Smith's brother was there in the hospital room when he died, and because Kevin Smith went out for a smoke or something, he comes back and his brother goes, "Dad died screaming." And, you know, the whole point of Kevin Smith telling his story about how his dad died is that, you know, after he hears that, he just remembers all the good times he had with his father. And, like, you know, when he was a young kid, he used to watch Bowling for Dollars on the TV, which was a really old TV show. And he would lay his head on his father's chest and his belly and watch Bowling for Dollars with his dad. And so one last time after, you know, he's passed away, Kevin Smith laid his head on his father's stomach one last time, and remembering those good moments. And throughout that, through the experience of knowing, like, his dad was a good man, you know, he just worked his job, he paid his bills, he supported his family, never did anything bad. And, you know, this is the problem with Kevin Smith everyone has. He can be great, but he always has that Kevin Smith touch that ruins his own greatness. Or even in this story, he says, you know, my dad, you know, he never touched any kids. You know, he all of a sudden, like, makes the story go that way just for a second, because he's got a good point. The point he's trying to make is that, like, his father was so good, he didn't even do anything horrible. But the fact he mentions that kind of ruins the story for most people. But I digress. The point is, that's the Kevin Smith smear on all his stories and things. You know, he keeps things unclassy. That's his trademark. And so that's why people are very mixed about considering him a great artist or creator or stuff. But if you hear this man talk, honestly, even on his own podcast, the Smodcast, and he's got a whole bunch of them, like Smodcast, Edumacation, Hollywood Babylon with Ralph Garman. These are all, like, great podcasts, honestly. And he even has one with Jay, because he's, you know, Jay and Silent Bob together. But yeah, he's had so many, and he's honestly a great person to listen to. He's really good at talking and telling stories. So that's why I really, really grew fond of the man as I kept listening from his podcast and then discovering his movies. It was a big thing for me. So anyways, yeah, that's coming out. Let's not bog down the place too long. And yeah, this is the Explore section. I should have Vine boomed my way into that. Yeah, we got a Vine boom. I gotta get better sound effects. I literally pulled up these sound effects 5 minutes before the stream started. Okay, so how far into the podcast are we in? We're about 20 minutes in. We got 45 minutes of this podcast. I don't want this thing being too long, because we also got singing guitar at the end of the stream for the next stream. Other than that, let's see what else we got here on the Explore section. Haven't done too much stuff in here. But the Explore section of our Discord, I've posted some videos in the past and stuff. And there's this one where this guy, 2 years alone. The video is called 2 Years Alone, Building a Log Cabin Like Our Forefathers. And this guy literally posts a 2-hour video. You know, it's long, but obviously the process took longer than that. This guy named Eric Grankvist, and he basically builds, literally as the title says, a whole cabin by himself like his forefathers. And, you know, I imagine it's something he's doing to connect with, like, who he is as a person, as a man. And he did this at the age of, like, roughly 18, I believe. And he just, I guess at some point in his life came to this epiphany that he should try to live life the way he wants to, in the sense that, like, he wants to be so in touch with himself and his lineage and cares so much about, you know, being human, I guess and human with nature, I think is the key here, to that he grabs from the elements, the resources, becomes independent himself, and just kind of builds something. It's kind of crazy. And so to build a house is really, when you kind of think about it, in a metaphorical sense, is kind of a pinnacle in a way for men, in the sense of like being competent, intelligent, strong, right? It kind of encapsulates, even for like, you know, finding a partner for like women who might be looking at this man. It's like, wow, this man is capable. He could protect me. He could build something for me. He could like be someone who could be there for me if we ever had kids together. I know that sounds like a very, like, I was like, whoa, Peter, why'd you go super traditional man and woman nuclear family on us? Well, the point is that, like, realistically, let's be real for a second. A lot of people still feel those traditional feelings, okay? I know we live in a day and age of being, like, politically correct and, like, progressiveness, but, like, even people who are a part of, like, you know, the LGBTQ community. I know there's more to it now. I please forgive me for not knowing the, actually, you know, let's pay respects. What is the full title now? It's LGBTQ 2S+. Sorry, that is the full title now, okay? The reason why I don't remember it, it's not out of no respect for the community. It's out of because, in the sense that, you know, everyone kind of just remembers things that are relevant to them. So I'm not necessarily, why did I say necessarily? I'm not gay, okay? I'm straight. I'm a straight white male. Haha, very funny, very, very, very creative, very, very outstanding, aren't I? Starting my own podcast. Anyways, big surprise. But my point is that, like, people in general only pay attention to things that quote unquote help them survive. And so, let's use me for example. I'm a guy who just wants to create things, content, blah, blah, blah. I want to get better at life. I want to make sure I get good sleep, eat well, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to pay attention to things that help me get good sleep. I pay attention to things that help me have a good diet. You know, these are things I'm interested in that help me survive. And then outside of that, like, I play guitar. I like to write. So I'm going to listen and pay attention when I notice, like, on Instagram or YouTube, someone talks about how to be a writer, or how this simple trick could make you a good at drawing or something like that, right? It's things that are relevant to me, right, that I'm going to pay attention. And because I am a straight guy who's interested in basically straight women, that's why I don't really remember the names and keep up with it. And it's just that way. So it's not out of disrespect. I just have to flatten that out. And it's a good little point to make about something you might not know about human nature. And it's, you know, even Joe here, Joe's kind of getting excited. Wait, you want to say something, Joe? Your lips are perking up, Joe. You want to say, no? You're just going to stare at me, Joe? Just going to stare at me with your big old lips and your big old, yeah, he's staring at me. He's staring at me. Okay. All right, thanks, Joe. Anyways, you know, fuck it. We're just going to call him Joe. He's supposed to be Roe Jogan, but we'll just call him Joe. Fuck it. I'm so used to saying, like, Joe Swanson and Joe Rogan, man. Anyways, so, yeah, Petey, can you please, Petey, pull that up on the computer. Pull up that link to this guy building his cabin. This stuff is technically old in my Discord a little bit, but I think it's worth talking about. It's worth talking about. So, literally, this guy's building a freaking cabin. For those who are listening, they're basically listening to a man cut down trees by hand. The guy friggin' was so nice to actually cut the video if you go to the scrolling around it. Let me bring down the audio a bit. We actually don't really need the audio, but this freaking guy, man, if you read the description, even says it right here. Oh, clicked on another video by accident. Petey, come on now. All right. So yeah, if you go into the description, and we'll just go to, like, a next part in the video, some random part. But he's actually categorized it in ways that, like, Vorstep puppy? What does that mean? Vorstep puppy. Oh, his puppy. He even shows his puppy for a little bit, you know? And it's all filmed in a very, like, awesome, amazing way that, like, it's very watchable, you know? You could have this on the background on the TV, even, like, when people come over, and it's, like, the equivalent of a coffee table book, where you have something that people go, oh, and it's a conversation starter, right? It's like, what the hell's on your TV? It's like, I got a guy building a cabin, and at, like, 18 years old. Like, look at this guy. And this thing premiered this year, March 18th. Like, look at this lad. He goes from literally ripping off pieces of birchwood to building a goddamn cabin. Let's give this man a round of applause, please. Look at this guy. So it's people like this that really, really inspire me, because it's just, like I said earlier, he's someone who's trying to just be human with nature. And that's one of, like, that's honestly one of those crazy things we forget a lot, you know? It's like we're constantly, all we know is technology, because, you know, I'm gonna say this, obviously. We're all on the internet right now. We're on Twitch, TV or whatever, right? And we're all a part of like this suburban, this modern, this, you know, it's how society has progressed and wherever you live, right? Whether it's the States, Canada, frickin' Portugal, who knows where you are. But the point is that like we become more dependent on the societies we grow up in. And, you know, it's just because it's easier, it's better, it's opportunity. That's why our parents move to these places. Our grandparents, it's easier, it's opportunity. But within that, we lose our independence. Our dependence becomes on the technology, on... I sound like a freaking nutcase the way I'm talking. Do you think I'm a nutcase, Joe? Nah, I don't think Joe thinks I'm a nutcase. He's cool with it. But yeah, point being is that I really admire this man for what he's doing. He's literally... Just keeping life simple in the sense that he's just proving to himself and gaining satisfaction, I imagine, out of being independent and taking control of life in his own way, you know? It's really cool that way. I haven't liked this. Oh, this is on Petey's computer. That's why I haven't liked this. Anyways. So yeah, he even writes in the description, after building the log cabin alone in the forest for over a year, I now embark the next year's challenges. Last year I ventured out, found a suitable spot, chopped down and dragged the necessary trees and shaped them into a 4-wall log cabin. You can see this in my 1 year alone in the forest of Sweden. Oh yeah, that's another thing for anyone who's from Sweden in chat. I know Satan Gaming's from Sweden. This guy's from Sweden. This all happens in Sweden. This year I built the log structure for the roof. Laid the complete roof. Oh, so this was in parts. He describes how this was in parts. Build an underground root cellar under the log cabin for food storage and prepping and much more. I'm now 21 and have built this log cabin from materials I could find in the forest in Sweden with only the simple hand tools I carry in my backpack, like our forefathers did. So, you know, there's still a lot of work left, blah, 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 to become self-reliant. Oh, because, yeah, that's his mission, to become self-reliant. So if you want, subscribe to Eric Grankvist. That's ERIK GRANKVIST. Eric Grankvist. I guess he's the creator of the week. I had this idea that I would have the creator spotlight, right? And you could close that, PD. Thank you. You can close that. Thank you, PD. Okay. No. Close the tab. Thank you, PD. Okay. Awesome. So, anyways, the point of this is that, yeah, I was gonna have a creator corner, so I guess I kind of did by accident. Anyways, let's keep going through the Discord. Anything else that's worth talking about exploring? I believe we only have like about 10 minutes left in the stream, so we might not explore anymore. Maybe like one little quick thing. We'll see what we have here, okay? So I know Joe over here. He's his brain's filling up with a lot of knowledge. You could tell he's getting smarter by the minute. Look at him. Look at that man. Anyways, okay. So, but actually, okay. So the only other thing I can add to this, actually, I think we might as well go into the grow section, because this is technically not explore. This actually is going into grow territory. I haven't posted this in the Discord yet, but book reviews. A book review I'd like to give you of is Spark by, I actually don't know his name. Petey, can you pull that up for me, please? Pull up Spark. Spark by, so we know the author's name properly and credit him properly. Spark, come on now. Spark book. Yes, search Spark book, Petey, please. Allow? Know your location. Block that. Hell yeah. Spark book. That was weird, Petey. I don't know why that came up. Okay, so the Spark, the revolutionary new science of exercise. The revolutionary new exercise and the brain. And it's by John Ratey. I cannot explain enough how this book is basically cemented in my head. Yeah, Pinhead. Sorry, Chrome QC earlier said he called Joe a pinhead because he's got a pinhead. If you're watching the video version. Anyways, sorry, Joe. I got to be honest with you. I was gonna do his voice, but I don't think I could do a Joe Rogan voice. Anyways, so yeah, Spark by this book has cemented in my brain how important freaking exercise is for everybody. Like, everyone knows that, okay? That's common knowledge that exercise is important, but it really, like, the statistics this guy pulls out and the studies and everything, all aspects, it's mind-blowing how much exercise helps freaking not just your longevity, but like depression, anxiety, your capability of learning. They've proven that like exercising, doing any form of, and if we're going to condense the book here, basically, if you do any form of aerobic exercise, so anything to get the heart rate up to about around 60 to 80 capacity, 80% capacity, I think is the sweet spot. So if you go for a jog, whether you're doing jumping jacks, blah, 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 you're basically getting your heart rate up, and essentially you know, if you keep that for a while, it puts the body in stress mode, and having the body do exercise every now and then puts it in a stress mode, but it builds up the body's... I'm really bad at explaining this, so sorry, guys. But basically, it builds it up so that it stays strong, gives you more energy, makes your brain literally smarter. It actually, like, helps... It helped a lot of students. They did a study where students exercised right before a big test, and always, every time, at least a 20% to like 40, I think it was like 20 to 30% increase in their capabilities to do like tests and like anything that involved complex thinking. So that was an interesting thing. And as a side note, not in this book, but I listened to this TED Talk actually, where it was basically explaining that, you know, when you're trying to lose weight, as a little side thing, you might not realize this, but every time you breathe out CO2 is actually something that comes out of you, and it's kind of like, you can't see it visibly, but if you, I think he used nitroglycerin to show it within a balloon, that it is actually kind of this powdery substance once it's frozen to that type of temperature. So every time you breathe out, you're technically spewing out a powder that you can't see, and that powder, if you get your heart rate up, is the weight you're losing. So what I'm getting at here is that by explaining this little tidbit of information, if you're ever trying to lose weight, the best way to lose weight is to get your body in a stress mode, in the sense that, like, you're exercising, your heart rate's up, and if your heart rate's up and you breathe out, the weight is literally turning into CO2 and coming out of your mouth. So, and the best way to do this is if your heart rate is up, or else the body won't go into like those fat resolves. It won't go into that part of your body. So basically, I mean, if you're not exercising, you're basically living life at half your capacity, brain-wise even. Like, it's just, that's how important exercise is. You need to do it, like, literally every day, in the sense of, like, just go for a walk or anything, or do jumping jacks. Something you have to love. Another thing the book brought out that was actually really important and useful was that, like, it was telling the story how this woman had this problem with, like, anxiety and stuff, and she found herself during COVID, like, caught up in her big house and nothing to do, and she would just drink her days away. And what helped was literally jump rope. She started doing jump rope because the guy who wrote this book, John Ratey, who was I think I don't know what he is exactly. I think he's I don't know what he does. Maybe if I Google his name. Peter, can you Google his name for me? Can you bring that up for me? Bring it up for me, please, Peter. Search copy. I feel like the more we do this, the more you guys are immersed in the sense that PD is a real person. John Ratey, he's a MD, is an associate clinical professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School, and an internationally recognized expert. So yes, he's the real deal, and blah blah blah. And yeah, and through her discovering that she loves to do jump rope and all that, she found that it actually helped her anxiety tremendously, and she went to that instead of basically wine and drinking her problems away. And it was a very big step for her, that she could actually control her anxiety and bring it down without alcohol, right? Something numbing her brain. She would actually physically work out, and it would help her just as well, if not better, and made her body better in the process. Anyways, so yeah, and basically, yeah, read Spark if you want. I actually listened to the audio version. And so yeah, basically, it's basically cemented to me in my brain that if you don't exercise, you're living at almost half your capacity of mental power and energy. There's almost no reason to not exercise. It will just boost and get you to your best self. And you don't even have to do anything crazy. You could literally jog every day if you want, and you'll get there. But they're still doing trials on whether strength training, lifting weights and stuff, really goes towards that. Joe, do you have any information about that? No, you're just gonna give me the faces. You're just gonna look at me like that. Oh, he doesn't know. He's got the eyebrows up. He doesn't really know. Okay, well, it's okay, Joe. Thank you. But yeah, so Spark and that little tidbit of information that blew my mind about the CO2 and how weight comes out of you, because weight doesn't burn off. That doesn't just disappear. Energy has to go somewhere, so it goes into the CO2 and comes out of your mouth. So now you know where the weight goes, because yeah, no one really knows where weight goes. Everyone thinks it just burns away and magically. No, that's not what happens. So yeah, that was a little bit too long for the I guess the grow section, and so I really highly recommend Spark. I'd love to talk about more books and stuff. Actually, maybe next time I'll talk about Ego is the Way by Ryan Holiday. I'm actually currently listening to that, and that is the more I listen to this book, I'm only a third into it. I honestly think every freaking person should listen to this book. It is a very insightful book on Stoic philosophy and how easy we succumb to our egos growing up, and how it just ruins our own success at life and our mentality and perspective on how to handle the most stressful and difficult situations in our lives. It is an amazing book also so far I'm enjoying. Because Ryan Holiday, he's a Stoic, and he teaches a lot about like philosophy and Stoicism. He has a lot of great free content on YouTube, so if you want to check him out, check out also Ryan Holiday. Another thing, let's go into the advice section, actually. The advice section of this podcast. Now, what kind of inspired me to do this podcast in the first place was this whole growth section where I like to call it Real People, Real Problems. So let's get the Vine Boom to initiate this section. Yeah, there we go. Why not? Fuck it. All right. We also actually skipped over another section I wanted to do called People Also Asked, where I go on Google and we search up stuff. Fuck it. Okay, wait, let's rewind that Vine Boom. Rewind Vine Boom. We'll do this really quickly. I actually don't have a lot of time, damn. I thought I would, but I don't. But I'm going to cut into some of my guitar time to get this podcast the way I want it, at least. So let's go on to the computer. Petey, can you pull something up for me? Can you please? So basically what we do is we're going to play a little game called People Also Ask. So in chat, I want you guys, you guys to ask me a question to search on Google. I'm going to search one anyway. And then I'm going to look at 3 other questions of basically People Also Ask. So that's basically how this game works. So yeah, so let's pull that up on the screen, Petey. Thank you very much. So what's a name we could frickin' search and ask? Let's like, what's a question? Let's just search anything. Let's start with the phrase, what is the point of what circumcision, inflection, wisdom teeth, the January 6 hearings equal mosquito. Yeah, what is the point of mosquitoes? I want to know the point of mosquitoes. So let's see this. Just like bees or butterflies, mosquitoes transfer pollen from flower to flower as they feed on nectar. They do? They do. That actually surprised the hell out of me. Oh, my phone just died. Oh, that's nice. Thanks, phone. Thanks, LG. Okay, yeah, so from flower to flower, they carry pollen, fertilizing plants and allowing them to form seeds and reproduce. Since when? Since when? I've never seen a mosquito do work other on me at my campgrounds. Joe, have the mosquitoes been to you? Oh, fuck. You got a big bite on your lips, bro. Sorry, Joe. Fuck, man. Anyways, let's get back to the computer. But yeah, I didn't know that. Okay. So let's check out the other 3 questions People Also Ask. And if no one in chat actually says anything, don't worry, I'll just skip over to the next section. So anyways, do mosquitoes actually have a purpose? So I think that's the purpose. What would it also say? While they can seem pointless and purely irritating to humans, mosquitoes play a substantial role in the ecosystem. They're an important source of biomass, the food chain, serving as food for fish and larvae, and for birds, and bats, and frogs, and adult flies. Oh, they're actually pretty useful. I'm actually a little more grateful for flies today. I mean, not flies, mosquitoes. Wow. Okay, let's check 2 more. That'll count as one of our things. So People also asked, what would happen if mosquitoes went extinct? Now we know how important they are. What would happen if they went extinct? Okay. Without mosquitoes, thousands of plant species would lose a group of pollinators. Okay, maybe makes sense, obviously, after we just read. Adults depend on nectar for energy. Only females of some species need a meal of blood to get the proteins necessary to lay eggs, because that's right, because the females are the ones that are biting us. Yet McAllister says that their pollination isn't crucial for crops on which humans depend on. Okay. Well, they're a part of the ecosystem, so they're basically saying we could kill them all. They wouldn't be bad for us, but it'd probably fuck up the ecosystem in some sort of domino effect that wouldn't be good. That's no good. Anyways, let's go on to the last. What's another one that interests me here? Do mosquitoes do anything good for humans? Can we live without mosquitoes? Why did God create mosquito? Okay, yeah. Let's see what that says. God did create mosquitoes to serve a purpose. The collateral damage is being experienced by... Okay. That's kind of the same question. Let's find another one that's more interesting. How did Indians fight... Why is this a question? How did Indians fight mosquitoes? Why did people ask this? Native Americans would smear mud all over themselves in order to protect against mosquitoes. Yo, that's badass. Mosquitoes have a harder... It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger and freaking Terminator. Oh, man. Mosquitoes... I can't believe I equated Native Americans to Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting not himself. Predator, not Terminator. Fighting the freaking Predator. Mosquitoes have a harder time penetrating the mud with their beaks, quote-unquote. And they don't like the smell. Taking advantage of mosquitoes' sense of smell was a standard tactic used by Native Americans. Wow, I did not know that. Okay. So yeah, if in chat you guys have another question, I'm going to give you guys like 15 seconds to ask one to Google, and we'll search it up because I think this is fun. So yeah, this is the people also ask section of the Explore, and we kind of learn. So it kind of like dips into the grow section. It's always been a fine line for me to pick something in the Explore and grow section of this podcast. It always gets a little on the fence, and that's why things get a little funky. But anyways, yeah. If I don't see any answers in about like 5 seconds, I'm just gonna move on to the next section because we don't have a lot of time anyways. Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions pop up. No, don't worry. I see Chrome QC in chat topping. Oh my. I see. Don't worry to feel pressured, my friend. No worries. Anyways, I think that gives us permission to go. Yeah, don't worry. Your brain's slow. It's all right. Let's see here. What's next? We're going to do. Let's do the next section where we actually go real people, real problems, like I mentioned earlier. Now we could play the Vine sound. There we go. Hopefully that's not annoying to you guys. Hopefully it's not too loud, honestly. Oh, fuck. My phone's dead. I can't... Okay, well, we can just go on Reddit from here, right? You don't need an account to look at Reddit, do you? You don't have to sign in, right? Because I basically went on Reddit to find these things. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Petey. Thank you for... By the way, if anyone didn't realize, Petey is the one who... if you noticed in the intros, Petey, pull up the intro. Play the intro again. Petey is literally the one who sets up my streams. If no one got that. If no one got that idea. That's why he's about to run across the screen in a few seconds. I think about it right now. And he's carrying a whole bunch of shit. Like, he's carrying me. Like, that's the prop. Get it? He's carrying all the stuff to set up the stream. I'm assuming no one gets that half the time. So, yeah, and he's getting all the... Those are all my old banners. Actually, wait, this is my old fucking video. I'm not using the right video for this. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, and he's, you know, my background, my webcam, yeah, so anyways. Yeah, so Petey's the unappreciated hero, so, you know, round of applause to Petey. It's Petey and P, by the way. If you're wondering what the hell why he has two faces, he's got one on his stomach, that's because that's P. The guy up there, the big head, the big body, that's Petey, and that little stomach face, that's P. So it's Peter, Petey, and P. We're all a big team here, you know, Peter, Petey, and P. Imagine we're gonna start our own comic series on in the newspaper. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, let's go back to the block that. No, you're not gonna look at my information. So we kind of just go either to the Ask section of Reddit, or we go to /ask, right? Yeah, /ask. Basically, what the hell was Hitler left wing? No, that's not the right section. The advice. Advice. Isn't it advice? Advice? Isn't it, what the hell? The Reddit's I'm pretty sure it's called Ask. Maybe it's just called Ask Reddit. Is that what it's called? Is this just basically, what is the saddest song you've ever heard? No, it's, maybe it is the Ask section and someone was just being dumb there. What the hell? Petey, what's going on here? I'm surprised. Or maybe there was another option for Ask. Was that it? Ask, no, that's a user, sorry. Okay, I'm surprised. What the hell? Shout out to Pete and P. Thank you, Chrome. So is going to college worth it? No, there was some. This is not it. This can't be it. Was it Ask Reddit? It's like it's supposed to be about like advice, you know, advice. Was it /advice? I think that's it. I think it was just advice. Maybe I want to retire young. Parents put a tracker in my car. I was caught buying women's lingerie. Oh my god. Daughter acting strangely. Do you tell a friend directly that caught her husband cheat? Oh my god. Yeah, so it's basically because I either go on the I think it's this subreddit. I think I have it. I just don't have it. I'm not signed in, so I don't want to sign in live on stream. That would be bad. But yeah, basically, I'd like to go to these sections because it's important, honestly, for us to think about problems, and it's really helpful when it's real people, real problems, right? So I either go on the advice section of Reddit or the advice section of 4chan. And so I find 4chan to be much more raw, but I don't want to show that on the screen because there could be people showing out the N-word and all sorts of things like that. So until I do this more prepared in the future, we just keep things a little cleaner with Reddit for now. But anyways, yeah, so let's look at someone's problem here. What we're going to do here is that we're going to talk about a problem. We don't have much time today. We're just going to do one problem. And then we're going to look at the popular answer, give our answer, and just, you know, have a discussion. It's important. So let's try to find a problem that's somewhat relevant. Let's try to go for something that's relevant. So I want to retire young. What should I do? Parents put a tracker in my car. I was caught buying women's lingerie for me. What excuse can I say to remain in the closet? Daughter acting strangely. Do you tell your friends directly that you caught her husband cheating, or do you go right to the husband first. These all don't sound very relatable. I'm embarrassed to go back to work. My neighbor has a motion sensor camera recording my fence backyard. Like, you can tell, like, all these things are pretty all over the place. I want to see what the top stuff are. You know, let's go for the top stuff. That'll be a little easier. Top this month. Why not? Or actually this week, because we're going to keep the theme on this week's podcast, right? Okay, I'm on my own at 18. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, this is the subreddit. I'm on the proper subreddit because I remember this guy's story. Being called a colonizer by a friend is a weird corker, blah, blah, blah. Have a date with a woman. Got a girlfriend, but my wife lets my 2-year-old son make up. Oh, that's weird. But, you know, it's starting to get popular. How do I break up with my girlfriend without hurting her too much? Okay. All right. Well, I think we can go for... let's go for this one, okay? Let's go for this one real quick. I've read this one already. So this guy asks, I'm on my own at 18. A little over $1,000 to my name and my own car. What do I do? He goes on to add, I've recently been kicked out of my house. All my belongings, valuables, clothes, and cash are with me in my car. I have a job earning roughly $10 an hour, and I'm assuming he's in the U.S. because $10 an hour is not in Canada. You usually get paid $14, which is equivalent to the 10. So $10 an hour, and I get paid this Friday. I've clocked in 40 hours this past week. I don't have any friends that I can call to crash at. I've spent one night sleeping in my car. What can I do? So before we read this main answer, let's just talk for a quick minute. So what would you guys do? Like, I would say, you know, okay, so again, let's reiterate. He's 18, $1,000 is his name, working a job. At least he has a job. He's got a car to at least sleep in. You know, he doesn't have to pay for hotels or motels or anything. He's making $10 an hour. Okay, well, in the grand scheme of things, big picture things, what I would tell this guy. Actually, before I say this, it's important to read through his thing, that he also states that he has no friends to crash at. This could be, you know, if we had more details, we could help out this guy a little bit more. But with what's here, it's like we don't know, like, if he got kicked out because of, like, a drug-related problem, or if his parents are just strict and want him out at 18 and live on his own, because some families are like that. Some families do that. Or, you know, it's like... And it's like the fact that he doesn't have any friends to crash at, is it because they move a lot, so he doesn't know a lot of people? Is he socially, like, has social anxiety, so he doesn't talk a lot? Or is it like he's just a bad friend, and so that's why he doesn't have no friends to rely on, right? It's there's a lot of factors here, so for a question like this, it's a bit tricky. So what I would tell this guy, in the grand scheme of things, without knowing those factors that are missing here, I guess I would tell him that, with your $1,000 to your name and your job, your only way out literally is to just, you know, first thing I would do, I would honestly go to a store, dollar store, buy a notebook. I would buy a notebook, a pen, whatever you need to write on, and really take some time, since you got all the time in the world now, to really think about what you want out of life, really. Just, like, really think, like, if he has a phone, too, or some form of technology, that's already a step ahead. He's not that far behind. The second you don't have technology in your grasp, that's when you're at a really big disadvantage, right? So the fact he has access to the internet is already, like, it's possible. This is not impossible, okay? And so I would tell him to get a piece of paper, write on. You can even use his phone if he doesn't want to, but I would recommend paper so it, like, sticks and really feels important, right, for his brain to register. Just think about what he wants his life to be in the next 5 years. I'd say as like a goal type thing, to know where he's going in life, to be this lost and asking the internet. I imagine it's important to at least know where you're going. If you wander if you shoot an arrow without a target, you'll never miss, because you'll also never hit what you're trying to hit, right? You won't ever know if you're bad at shooting if you don't have a target, right? The point is that if you don't have a goal, you can shoot all you want at whatever. It doesn't matter. You'll never know if you're ever going somewhere or good at anything, because, like, there's nothing to measure it with. There's no target. So basically, yeah, I'd get him to do that. I would recommend he, like, just talk to himself, have a conversation with himself, and, like, really see what he wants. And then from there, I guess, like, the main point here is that he needs to figure out how to make money to reach where he wants to be in life. So figure out what he wants in life. Then he needs to figure out, okay, well, how do I get this money? And the best way to figure out how you want to get money is that I guess you just look at your strengths, you look at what's around you, what's possible, and the fact, okay, this is a little bit of a bonus in a way, you know, like it's a curse and a bonus. The fact that he's kicked out, this guy can go anywhere. He can go anywhere where there's opportunity he sees. So if he wants to be like, let's say a psychologist, he could look up one of the best psychologist schools in the world, maybe one that has a good price, a little under the best, and like go to that state
state or that province and just learn from there. He's not tied down to anything if he's on his own. That's kind of the benefit and the downfall of having no one in your life, right? You can build from square one. Problem is, you're building from square one. So yeah, I'm just trying to think big picture thinking. I understand this is a big answer I'm giving, but like, he's in a really dire situation. So in a dire situation, you need a smart answer, pal. So this is why I'm saying. So yeah, just basically figure out what you want, figure out how much money you need to be comfortable again, and figure out how much money you need to get to what you want in life. And from there, you got to also think, like, what are your strengths? What can you go for? What do you know about yourself? Along the road, no one knows all these questions. Nobody knows all these answers, where it's like, what am I best at? What should I go into? You know, like, Joe, did you know what you wanted to be when you were freaking 12?
Bruh.
No. No, good answer, Joe. Good answer. He's laughing. He's laughing because I laughed. Oh, fucking love you, Joe. Anyways, that broke up the seriousness. That's funny. Okay, thank you, Joe. Pete, you laughing? No, Pete never laughs. He's always got Pete. No, Pete's not laughing. All right. But anyways, yeah. So figure out what you want in life. Figure out how much money you need to get to that life. And then figure out how much money you need just to get a little bit better, get to the essentials, the basics, so you don't feel like shit every day. You know, not in your car, you're actually living somewhere. And look for, in your area, jobs and opportunities where you can, you know, find jobs that will give you the money with your current education. And, like, if you need more education for certain, like, that's the thing. You have to know what's around you. And if you could go anywhere in the world, look at where you can go in the world that you could do something that fits your strengths. I think that's the easiest thing for you to do if you're going to be working towards something that is a job that you're not totally sure about, but yet go for what you think is best. And once you find out that best is absolutely horrible for you and you were wrong, awesome, because then you know you don't have to waste any more time going towards this, and you go to the next best thing you think is good for you. That's how you literally get through life. You go for the thing you think is best for you, and once you find out if it is or not, you either stay or you're like, oh, this is shit, and then you move on. That's how you figure out what you need to do in life. That's literally the freaking, you know, espresso drink, the Red Bull to getting your life, like, to where you want it to be ASAP. Okay? Fail fast so you can succeed. Anyways, that's basically what I would tell this guy. Figure out, you know, if you're not good with this job, if you want to make more money, figure out what are the jobs that make more money, figure out what you need as, like, prerequisites to get those jobs, blah, blah. And I think the subtle, more important thing about all this is that along the way, whether you're working one job, two jobs, whatever, or like you keep switching jobs, is that you make connections with people. You have people skills where you make friends, because you honestly, one of the biggest things in life is that people are what are going to get you to where you need to go, because you never know. You might, like, meet some guy, a coworker at a job, and then, like, a year you're at another job and he remembers you and he's like, hey, you know what, I'm actually at this better company right now, you want to come work with me? And, like, you go and it's great, you know, or it could be shit, you don't know. The point is that you want to make as many bridges as you can, especially when you're on your own. Like, what you have so much to lose and nothing to lose at the same time. So it's like, you know, it's just like you need to build connections to survive in this world. This is why we have families in the first place, right? If you are at home alone and you fall down your stairs and you don't have, like, a husband, a wife, a dad, a son, nothing, it's like, who's gonna help you? Who's gonna know to take you to the hospital? No one. So that's the point of, like, living with someone or being with people, right? It's like people are looking out for you, so you, well, one, in society, is you don't die, but two, it's like, you know, just so you can live and continue your life, right? And you know, and to, like, just yeah, and be in better situations and help them out, they'll help you. It's a whole thing. So I actually really like this question, how it opened all that up. So that's my answer. That's basically what I tell this guy. Let's read what the biggest answer. So let's see. What did people say here? So if we go view entire discussion, the biggest, most, oh wait, this might be actually the biggest answer. So for some reason the top answer is this, and then the more agreed upon answer is this one. So let's read the top answer. The top answer people gave, or this guy gave, and people agreed with. Head to a food bank. Okay, yeah, this is at the moment. So this guy's giving some good, quick advice for his current situation as we speak. Head to a food bank. Also grocery stores throw out perfect food. Try scouting around the back. Stretch out that money. Definitely continue sleeping in your car. Do your back seats flip down. Make a bed out of your situation. Do your best not to sleep upright in the front seat. You will sleep terribly. Quality sleep is your ally, which is true. If there's those who don't know, the 3 hallmarks of your best life are, you have to get these in order first, is sleep, then your diet, and then exercise. After you have those 3 things done, and your body is at its best, then you should tackle whatever you want in your life, okay? I'm currently doing that. I'm trying to get my sleep in order, and it's working great. I'm on day 3 of getting my sleep in order, and it's fucking great. All I had to do, basically, is put a lock on my computer that shuts down all my devices and my phone, and I'm forced to sleep because there's nothing left for me to do in the house. So, and I have ADHD, so that's kind of why I have to take it to that drastic extent, but it helps. It works. So anyways, so yeah, so this guy, yeah, sleep is okay. Get a gym membership for showers. Don't look or smell homeless. That's a big disadvantage of being homeless, right? If you're trying to get a job and get ahead of life, it's a huge disadvantage not only to have no internet, but to look and smell homeless. No one's gonna try and give you a second chance. It's really freaking hard for people who are homeless out there. So let's remember that, people. You know, it's like, oh, get a job. It's not that easy. He has to freaking get a shower. He has to get a cut. And those things cost money. And that's, like, hard to beg for when a lot of people don't help the homeless. And a lot of people think the homeless are just going to spend it on drugs, which some do and some don't. And it's really hard to know which ones are which, right? And so that's why you got to, like, spend time and just talk with a few. And oops, I didn't mean to click out. Petey, why'd you click out of that? Petey, come on now. Don't click out of that. Come on, Petey. All right, let's scroll back down, Petey. Don't hide the answer. Oh, you didn't. No, don't click the profile, Petey. Come on, Petey. I just want to see the answer. You shouldn't have hit it. How do we expand? Oh, there you go, Petey. You figured it out. Petey expanded it. Okay. So this guy continues to say, yeah, gym and showers and blah blah blah. You could also apply to jobs to provide food, housing. Like, oh, this is true. Food and housing, like resorts, ranches, or summer camps, because yeah, that's true, because you have somewhere to sleep at least. Ski lodges will literally reach you. Really reach you or teach you how to ski for free so you can work for them over winter. Oh wow, you can make way better than $10 an hour and have an adventure. Like, you have an adventure being almost homeless. You seem to have some sort of internet access because of a Reddit post, but libraries equals free computer use. Oh, that's true, free computer use and internet, easier to do online applications on a bigger screen. Also, bigger picture, do you want to stay in Houston? Oh, he's in Houston. There might be better places for you to go. What about college town with a nice community of young people like yourself, or an outdoor adventure area? An area with other cool, intelligent people living out of their vehicles who can teach you tricks. That's also true. That is very true. Find a community who's in a similar situation than you, but are doing well in it. You know, so you know how you can live now and then get out of it later. Because some of those people actually do live in their cars on purpose. It's their lifestyle. So this guy's giving some great advice, actually. I know you're in a terrifying situation, but this is also an opportunity. Don't let a poverty mindset hem you in a hem you. I don't know what he miswrote. You and make the best of your life. Okay, awesome. This guy, did he message back? What is this guy? Post by no partners. Okay, no. OP didn't answer back. But that's awesome. That is a great answer. No wonder that's the top answer. But another answer that actually got more upvotes was DoorDash on your days off and weekend. Pick up off jobs on Facebook or other job sites. Sell anything you absolutely don't need and only buy what you absolutely need. Food, water, toiletries, gas. I hope this helps. That is a nice, simple, and sweet answer. But now I can see why that guy had the longer, more up answer, even though it wasn't like upvoted. This guy's using data. My phone and data is soon to be cut off, so any advice will help. Oh wow. Okay, so that is awesome. That is awesome. These people, I'm gonna. Oh, I accidentally clicked out of that. I wanted to upvote that for him, but oh wait, I'm not signed in, so I can't upvote. But yeah, I think that was honestly like a really awesome freaking question to look into. I honestly wasn't even gonna read that one today. I had that and 2 other ones ready, and I guess we're just gonna go with that one. So, yeah. So I actually want to open up chat for if anyone wants to ask me live on stream. Feel free to ask a question in the chat right now, or if you want, I set this up 2 years ago. askbrp@gmail.com. So if you guys send an email to ask, I put it in the chat right now, at askbrp@gmail.com. I will get this email, and you can ask me anything. And next time on the stream, on the podcast, I will answer your question to my best abilities, as I did here. And so from that, yeah, or if you want, you could just send fan mail. I'm realizing maybe that place could also be a fan mail email, 2-in-1. I feel like I shot myself in the foot by calling it askbrp@gmail.com. But, yeah, if anyone wants to send even just like a nice comment or anything, feel free to send anything to that email. Just no viruses, please. Just no viruses. Thank you. And yeah, so I think we learned a lot today. We had a really good time. Really good. I feel, dude. Do you feel, Joe? Do you think you had a great time? Joe's not really sure. He's kind of, he's giving me the eyebrows. Joe, podcast, good, yes? He's thinking. He's thinking. Oh! Yeah, he thinks it's great. He thought today's podcast was great. Okay, awesome. Okay, yeah. So hopefully I see some emails. The only emails I ever gotten there 2 years ago was D1222. He sent me, well, and then I actually had a serious one, but the only other emails I had in there was basically him saying he did my mom, basically. Good old D. Yeah, he's a wacky nut in my community. I like the kid. Anyways, that's it. That's about it for the podcast, guys. That was the Big Leg podcast. So I hope you guys laughed today. You guys, experienced something new through the ways we explored, or things I explored today and shared with you. And we grew a little through thinking about life and, how to, live and exercise, how important it is, and all that stuff. So I hope you guys have a great time living your lives. And I'd like to end with a quote. Usually I bring up a new quote every time. My phone is dead. I can't check it. But a quote I will leave you guys with is one I said last podcast about a year ago, actually, when I did this podcast. I'm glad this is back, though. Is that, treat everyone as a life you could have lived. And what I mean by that is that, don't disregard people for whatever thing that annoys you about them, or, don't think they have nothing to give to you. Jordan Peterson also says in his way, look at people as like they know something you need to know, and I say treat everyone as like a life you could have lived, in the sense that, like, if you were born in that person's circumstances and you grow up with their family and their job and their environment, that's their whole, like, they have a whole human being's life experience. Now imagine if that was like a different you from a different universe. What would you ask them to know about their life that would help you in your current life? That's what I mean by look at other people's lives you could have lived, because they have a lifetime of experience. There's something out of them that's going to help you. And that's why Jordan Peterson's way of saying is like, they know something you need to know. And so there you go. So thank you, everybody, for listening to the Big Leg podcast. I don't have an outro. I don't have an intro. I'm going to figure this stuff out as we go. But I'm glad the podcast is back, and we're going to keep going. So thanks for listening to the podcast. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. And we're just going to end it here.